Hi there, I'm Selma Jacinto Domingos, your host. I'm an author, an inspirational speaker, leadership educator, and empowerment coach. Welcome to Selma Success TV to empower you to change your life for the better. And before we get started, I really wanted to thank you so much for taking the time to listen and invest in yourself. And I will really appreciate if you can subscribe and share on my channel. Thank you so much. I also want to share with you this is my book, How to Make It Big on US. It's a very practical and strategical book where you can learn the right mindset for you to change your life and also to help you in your journey, with um, some goal setting skills, mastermind skills, everything that you need. So you can find in the link below is how to make it big on US. So, and today we will talk about how to ignite your media influence. And I have a very special guest today, which is my friend, Tom Martin. He's owner of Tom Martin Media. Tom Martin is a public relations strategist with more than 35 years of media experience on ABC News, CBS News, CNN, and NBC News. But I will ask Tom to tell more about himself because, he has more than 35 years experience. So he's really, really an expert and you have so much opportunity to learn from him. Tom, my friend, would you like to tell more about yourself, introduce what you do, how do you help people as well?
Sure, great. Yeah, well, hey, Selma, it's so great to be with you. I always enjoy it when we get together. The last time I think was on International Women's Day. I hosted a 2 hour event with 11 women, 11 inspiring women from around the world. I've told my friends I participate in these mastermind groups and, you know,
Yeah.
uh, group classes. It's like, hey, I'm the only guy here, but that just means there's more wisdom there, basically. So I
Yes,
don't I,
thank
I
you
don't
so
mind at
much.
all.
That I enjoyed. It was amazing. Yeah, and
But
again, thank you so much. Yeah, for inviting me. It was really a great event.
No, you did a great job. And if anybody wants a recording of that, just contact us, contact Selma or contact me, and I'll send you the link if you'd like to see it and see Selma's presentation and other women from around the world. It was really a great time. And yeah, but in answer to your question, yeah, 35 years, it does make me sound ancient. I'm really still going strong, but as Tony Robbins, it's so funny. I enjoy the fact that I'm the same age as Tony Robbins, who I've loved for 25 years now. And
Wow.
so it's like if he can keep going strong, I can keep going strong. And
Yes.
and he always has a line like he said, I've certainly learned a thing or two, because if you don't learn a thing or two in 35 years, you've got a problem. But no, I worked with some big news organizations in New York, ABC News, CBS News, and CNN, um, and Good Morning America, and so on. And at the 20-year mark, I mean, I learned a lot. It was wonderful, very exciting, covered a lot of interesting stories, met a lot of interesting people. But the hours were very, very long. And so at one point, I was just working till like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, every night
Wow.
almost. And I realized I wasn't seeing my children, and they were very
Wow.
young at that time.
Yes.
And so I said, I think I need to make a change. And so I kind of moved
Yes.
over into the public relations field, working with a couple of big firms in New York City that
Wow.
handled big, corporate type projects. And that was fine. I learned a lot there. But I realized that I really love working with individuals. I mean, that's why that International Women's Day event, you know, resonated so well with me, was I love hearing what people are passionate about. From your introduction to your show here, I could really tell that you are passionate about sharing your wisdom with other people. And it's
Okay.
funny, I just spent a couple of week process getting a new logo, because
Mhm.
I'm about to launch a weekly newsletter and a weekly podcast.
Wow.
And years ago I was thinking of writing a book, and it never quite took off. But the name I thought of for my book was called Wisdom All Around Us, because I really
Um,
believe that every one of us has gifts and knowledge and wisdom that others could benefit from hearing. And
That's
so
amazing.
that's
I agree
kind of
100%.
my driving force. Like I said, I feels good to get out of bed every morning to know I'm going to meet new people and hear what they're passionate about and use my knowledge to help, get them a bigger audience and stuff like that. So I started, retitled my podcast and my newsletter Wisdom All Around Us. And that's certainly what you shared with us on International Women's Day. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Tom. And I can feel your passion, really. I really can feel how much, passion you have, from this purpose, from your purpose in your life and what you are trying to do with all wisdom around the world. It's just amazing. And when I was, participated at the International Women's Day event that you organized, wow, it was really a great experience, just really from learning from other, women, hear this story, what they do and how their story changes their life and how they are using their life experience to help other people, and this is really everything that is all about. It's like you learn from your experience and you learn also from, college degrees and all the other knowledge. But at the end of the day, if you use what you already learned to help other people, oh my goodness, this is like a life changing. And you wake up like in the morning really excited, it's like you were reborn again,
Yeah, no,
you
it's a
have a
great,
new life.
exactly. No, I feel that way. It's a great feeling. And I think an important element or part of that recipe, that we're talking about here is listening. I read somewhere that, maybe because people are maybe, I don't know if some people are shy by nature, maybe we're all
Mhm.
kind of shy by nature, or we want to make a good impression. We all want to make a good impression. So they said that most people in a conversation are thinking about what they're going to say next. They're not really 100% present and listening.
Yeah.
And like we learned on International Women's Day, if we just kind of open ourselves up and don't, think about, well, what am I going to say in 2 minutes from, it's like just open ourselves up, because that's how we really can listen. It's like, wow, that thing they mentioned, I see how that fits into my life. I never thought about that before. And again, another one of Tony Robbins' ideas that I think is very true is about distinctions. He said, we talk about wanting to become, come to
Mhm.
a level of mastery and of a
Mhm.
subject or knowledge. And he said that the masters of, whether it's playing tennis or, engineering or whatever the case may be, it's like they're more aware of distinctions. And I think
Mhm.
by listening to other people, instead of think,
Wow.
what am I going to say next? Or do I look good? I hope I didn't say something stupid. But by listening and taking it in, we can develop those distinctions and that awareness. And like you teach people, we can, people can take their lives to a new level. So I just think it's
So
beautiful
true.
that you do that with people,
So true, Tom. And I know also from your experience, you created a course, right? Can you tell more like about your course?
Sure, sure. Yeah, thank you for asking. Appreciate
Oh,
that.
you're welcome.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny where the word ignite comes from. It's funny, I did a Google, or a Chat GPT thing. Well, what could be a good name for a course? This was 6 months ago, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that word, ignite your media influence. And what it means is a lot of us have that desire to share. I think it's a natural human desire. I mean, some
Mm-hmm.
people are very shy. It's like, no, I don't need to share. It's really okay. It's like, okay. But I think just about everyone has a natural desire to be heard if they're
Yeah.
passionate about a subject, whether it's parenting or animals or sports or whatever the case may be, a nonprofit or something like that. So they have a
Mm-hmm.
natural desire to be heard. And sometimes it can be very frustrating for a lot of people that they see people around them, their
Yes.
friends, family members, people in their business sector. Like, how come they're getting media attention? They're being interviewed and on a podcast or
Mhm.
featured in a magazine or something, how come I'm not getting that? And I don't know if it's, I guess jealousy is not a positive emotion, but it kind of wakes us up like I've put a lot of my life effort and
Course.
heart and
Yes.
soul into what I do. And I want to help people. I mean,
Yes.
I really like working with people who want to help people, not like, hey, my ego needs to be like, I'm great. It's like, okay, but preferably because you want to help people. So
Yes.
ignite your media influence is what I called my course. and it's a 12-week program. We're about midway right now.
Wow.
And it kind of fits with something I wrote on my website several years ago. Basically, my tagline for my public relations business, it just kind of came to me: connect, communicate, change the world. And so it's
Wow.
like these three components, like,
Yeah.
well, instead of having a vague desire to get some coverage in the media out there, like, well, what are the media outlets? Is there a certain TV station? Is there a certain
Mm.
specific podcast? Who's the host of that podcast? Who's the producer of that TV show? It's like getting very specific instead of just
Yeah.
having a vague desire. And so, we go over how the students can connect with those journalists that are a good fit for their story, and then communicate. We talk about, it's public relations in one way that public relations hasn't really changed in many, many
Yeah.
years is press releases. Like, what's the story you want to share with the world? And I
Mhm.
found that the best press releases are not like, hey, we're opening our store next Wednesday. It's like, ribbon cutting or, something like that.
Yeah.
It's more like, hey, here are five keys that can make a difference in your life. I mean, I know, like in your book and so on, here are some things. If you know them, I believe they will help you in your life. It's like, oh, yeah. So if you can put that in a press release and send it
Yeah.
to the appropriate people,
Mm.
producers, reporters, podcast hosts, magazine editors, they say, oh, yeah, I think our audience could benefit from hearing this and hearing from this person, because I was a journalist for so many years. I still feel
Yeah.
like I'm a journalist. And so journalists like new voices. They like diversity. I mean, on our International Women's Day, it was great,
Mm.
diversity, and
Yes.
like
Agree.
hearing wisdom. It's interesting because it's interesting to hear from people with different backgrounds who come from different nations around the world, because their experiences are unique. We're all
I
unique.
agree. I agree with you, Tom.
And then at the same time, some of we share a lot of things in common at the same time, so Ignite Your Media Influence is basically a 12-week course where we get
Mhm.
together one night a week and just like, okay, let's get specific about where do you want your story to get out in a certain magazine. You want to get it on Oprah, or you want to get it on whatever the case may be,
Yeah.
whatever your specialty is and stuff like that.
Thank you so much for sharing, Tom. I really appreciate. Wow, this is an amazing course that
Thank you.
I can see how many people, business owner, and even just if you want to really build your personal brand, you can benefit from this course. And you also mentioned something very interesting, Tom, that while you were talking, I was also, kind of like thinking that there is so many information out there, and really find those like five key elements that someone, a new business owner, a business owner, someone that is trying to get their voice out there and just build their personal brand, use, so they cannot feel like overwhelming with all the information. It's amazing. That makes all the difference, because at the end of the day, you really just need to know, um, you know, 3 or 5 things that will make the change on the things that you are trying to build in your personal and professional life. Um,
Yeah.
so this will take me also, to my next question. It's like, you know, in this kind of environment, Tom, that we have, um, social medias, Facebook, Instagram, we have so many other social media platform, and it's just very hard sometimes we engage, with our target audience and building the right content. So what's your opinion? How can you, like, from those 5 elements that you just shared with us, you can also tell more about those 5 elements. How can you really engage, build like a great content so you can engage with your audience?
Well, I don't know if there's like a secret formula, like, flipping a light switch and one day you don't have it and then the next day you have it. But I,
Yes.
but I do know, or I do believe, after all these years, we've been talking about, I do believe that by showing more of yourself, putting more of yourself out there, it gives people a chance to say, oh, I like that person, or I could learn from that person.
Yeah.
Again,
Mhm.
I know you're doing something on goal setting. I have several friends who have done presentations on goal setting. It's very important. It makes a difference
Yeah.
between whether you're successful or not successful. And, the people I know who have done presentations about goal setting over the years, they come from a huge variety of backgrounds. Some people who might see, I love the videos that you're doing. You're really letting your personality come through and your
Yeah.
desire to help people come through. And I think that is kind of the key to connecting with that wider audience. And I would really encourage anybody watching or listening to this conversation that,
Mhm.
like, try to get over your fear, because we do need you. Like I said, I really believe we each have unique wisdom. We might be in the same subject as many other experts, but our
Mhm.
wisdom is unique. And so try to get over your shyness, or like, oh my gosh, they're going to reject me, or people are going to insult me, or I bet if I put it on social media, people are going to post some nasty comment. It's like, all that could happen. It doesn't happen very much. And as some of our friends, I know, we have our friend Michelle Soro in common.
Yeah.
And I think Michelle has said, anybody who does something like that, posts a rude or nasty comment, that says more about them and how they're troubled
Yeah.
than about us, because successful people do not post rude comment. So don't
Yes.
worry about that. Put yourself out there. And again, I love what you're doing with video, because we kind of notice it might even be a vibrational thing. Speaking of the law of attraction, it might even be like we're attracted. It's like I've
Mhm.
heard people say they go into a bookstore and like a certain book falls off the shelf, or they're drawn to a certain book that came out 10 years ago or something like that. So I think there is something beyond our, sensory ability to notice that's going on. And it's like, another one of my favorite authors and speakers, in addition to Tony Robbins, is a woman by the name of Gabrielle Bernstein, Gabby
Mhm.
Bernstein. And I went to a lecture by her the other night, and she was saying, let's all understand that there's an energy behind us. There are angels, if you will. Some people believe in angels, some don't, but there's that something behind us. So don't be stressed, don't be anxious, don't start visualizing, what if this fails? What if this is a total disaster? It's like, go forward, because if you have that desire to help others and make a difference and to contribute something, it's like a road will open up for you, and it'll be enjoyable, and it'll help. I mean, some of us in the coaching field, we're paid for our coaching. I mean, I like helping people. I'm
Yeah.
open to conversations just for
Mhm.
free, but at some point, like if we want to go deeper, it's like, okay, well, I make some money doing what I love. What could be better
Yes.
than doing that? But Gabrielle Bernstein was saying that if we go forward with that kind of thinking, things do open up for us, and success is attracted to us. And she also said, if we run into some of those mean, nasty people, maybe we can shine a little more light on them, because they really need
Yeah.
it. It's just
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, get me away from. So it's a very interesting, we're all human. So let's just embrace our common humanity.
Yes, and not trying to be someone else. And um, yeah, I love what you mentioned. We had this great experience with Michelle Soro, where she really, helps you how to be more authentic, even when you are like sharing your experience on social media. And it's really all about authenticity. It's just really about being you. You don't need to be someone else in order to show your story, because your story, it's very, very unique, right?
Yeah, people are interested in, other people's stories. We've all had challenges and
Mhm.
adversity, and we all have dreams and desires for the future. People that we care about in our lives, and so there's a lot that we share in common, and I think people are just naturally interested in those stories. And if some people are not, or we don't resonate with that
Mhm.
particular person, that's perfectly fine. There's so much to go around. I really do believe we live in a bountiful, abundant universe.
Yes, I agree, because for example, yeah, thanks to Michelle Soro, now I feel like more confident doing the live videos. And I'm not saying it's not easier, for someone that is just like getting started, and trying to find the right content to connect with your audience. But when you just trying to be yourself, right? When you're just trying to tell your story, because we are all humans, we have our struggling, we have like happy days, and some days you just wake up in different way and you're just like, oh my gosh, I feel feeling this way, and you need some kind of like energy and some kind of like motivation. And if you really just, take yourself as human, and think about, okay, the other person that is listening is human like me, so that would make so much easier for you to ignite your media influence. Can we say that, Tom?
Yeah, exactly. I think basically, having that natural desire to kind of amplify your message. There's a wisdom or subject area that you know a lot about, that you're passionate about, and you want to
Yeah.
communicate that to a wider audience than you have
Mhm.
right now. The media is a great way to do that, whether that's a television interview or a radio interview or an article or a podcast interview or social media. It's like stretching ourselves, putting ourselves out there. And a large percentage of the people who come across it, they might not need the subject area that we focus on, or they might
Yeah.
already know somebody that they'd like to work with or learn from. It's like, that's all perfectly fine. But by putting ourselves in front of a new set of people, we have an opportunity to grow our business. If we're authors, to put our books in more people's
Yeah.
hands. If we work with a nonprofit, to bring in more support for the work that our
Mhm.
nonprofit does. So it's a natural process, I think.
Yeah, very natural. And now that you mentioned, about, people, and we know also that like building a relationship is very powerful for you to ignite your media influence and really share with your story. So what tips can you like offer, for someone that is looking to connect with other influencers, and really find collaborating like collaboration with some project so they can expand the personal brand, the professional brand. So what's your suggestion? How they
Yeah.
can build those powerful relationships?
I guess if I had to really simplify it, I would say don't be afraid to reach out. And that might be reaching out to journalists, like somebody at a local TV station or the host of a podcast. And one of the things I teach my students is, if you can be a little bit patient, maybe the first time you reach out to that person. So you're moving from a vague desire to get more attention or to reach more people
Yeah.
to getting specific, because you've made a list of certain journalists or podcast hosts who you want to really connect with. Like people, I'm sure you've been contacted by someone you've never known before. They said, "Oh, I hear that you have a podcast. My friend told me and I watched it and I loved it. And so here's my subject area. Maybe I could be your guest sometime." So it's reaching out and moving things forward, because the media does need new voices and new ideas and new content all the time. And I think also by reaching out to people, in our own profession or our own subject area, and just ask how they did it, or, let them
Mhm.
know that we appreciate what they've done. Not we're trying to steal their connections or anything like that, but just, I love how you're helping people in this subject area that means a lot to me. So, do you know of any shows or publications that you've worked with who might be interested in, my angle is a little bit different. I know a lot of
Okay.
people in publicity and public
Yeah.
relations, but we're all kind of unique. So I've often had conversations with them, because my strengths and my specialties are never exactly the same as other people's. So, so I would just say don't be afraid to reach out. And, and if there's some rejection, or they don't return your email, or they just say, I don't know you, why would I ever do that? It's like, it's okay. Don't worry about it, but
Just
just
go next.
exactly. Yeah.
As Jack Canfield says, if you get the first no, you say next, the second next, until you get the yes. So
Yeah.
it's really
Yeah.
persistence. It's a key ingredient for you to achieve your goals. It just, yeah, really helps you you know go further, because sometimes we are so afraid that the other people will reject us, will say no. And when I hear like about Jack Canfield's story, that for him to publish his Chicken Soup of Soul book, he was rejected, if I recall, 154 times, something like
That's
that.
amazing. Yeah.
Yes, yes. But at the end, he get one yes, and that's yes changing everything, because every time someone was saying no, he was like, next, next, next.
Exactly. Well, that great British author who's legend world famous now, of course, J.K. Rowling.
Mhm.
She wrote a book about some guy named Harry Potter, and all these publishing companies said this will never work. No one would ever be interested in this. And one publishing company said, "Oh, I think people might like this Harry Potter thing." It's like, and now she's been knighted, and has made millions of dollars, and like she's in the imaginations of countless young people.
How
So
amazing.
yeah, pay the, and also lately, especially even for me, I've been enjoying getting out of my comfort zone, trying to do
Mhm.
new things, and things that I've never done before. It feels good. I could say, oh, this is uncomfortable, or this is taking me so long to learn, or I feel really frustrated or something.
Yeah.
But it's like if I just know that it's a process, it's okay. It's funny, one coach I'm learning from right now about starting like a private group where we can all talk about media and help
Mhm.
each other. Stu McLaren he said one of his children, it's so funny. He said one of his children is like a jump rope champion or something, 10 years old. He said,
Yeah.
my son, who's a jump rope champion, has a poster of Nelson Mandela in his room. And he said, I never fail. I either succeed or I learn. And
I
so it's like,
love that.
that's a great quotation.
Yes, I love that. And sometimes you just need one yes, just one yes from all the no's that you get to help you really succeed and to help you take, to the next level.
Yeah.
And yes.
And also, I would say, no, I totally agree. And I would also say, I forgot to mention this, that I think, when I try to do this myself, it's like, okay, well, if I keep getting rejection after rejection after
Yeah.
rejection, is there anything I can learn from that? Not to be defensive, like, who are you to say you don't like it? I'm out of here. I don't even want to hear it. It's like, why did you say no? Can I learn anything from this? Can I adjust what I'm doing so maybe more people like it, or I serve people more effectively? So we can grow and evolve as we go along.
Yeah, I agree. And this is the kind of mindset, because when you go with the learning mindset, you take more from, even from all the no's that you have, that you had before, to help you really just like changing your thoughts, changing your feeling, and give you a different perspective when you change everything like in a positive way. And also, Tom, I know, it's kind of a little hard, because this is kind of question that a lot of people, ask, and they feel like stuck a little bit. Um, how someone, can try to really stay true to their values, and avoiding, getting caught like in the pressure of online fames, and just, on the pressure of just you trying to do things for yourself. How can you stay true on your value while building your media influencer?
Well, I think there's always an audience or a group, peer group or a community, whether it's small or large, that is a
Mm-hmm.
good fit for us. And so, I mean, I don't know. I'm sure I reached an age, some time ago where it's like, I don't care what people think. They don't like me. It's okay. Because I'm sure for most of my life I said, oh my gosh, they don't like me. What's wrong? Oh my, am I a terrible person? It's like, it's really okay. I don't, there was a phase of my life where I thought I really want to please everyone. And then I realized that's impossible.
Yes.
And so I think we have to remember that there is an audience for us, whoever we are and whatever our focus
Mm-hmm.
is, if we really have a desire to be helpful and make a difference and are proud of what we've learned and stuff like that. And so
Yeah.
it's really just a matter of maybe again, like you were saying, you and I were saying, trial and error, just put it out there, keep
Yeah.
trying, reach out to another person. Um, it's kind of a constant process, but I really do believe that there is a community for each of us, whether it's small or large, and that if we're in a place like all of my friends think I'm crazy. My family, it's like I want to be a coach or something like
Yeah.
that. Everyone tells me it'll never happen for you. Give up that stupid idea. It's like, don't listen to that. It's very hard if you're
Yes.
surrounded
It's
by
a
that.
challenge. Yeah.
But I think it's always, I mean, you have a very courageous story. You stretched, I mean, from what I remember you shared with us, you came from an upbringing that had limitation and say, don't get
Yes.
your hopes up or something like that, or we've never done it that way, and you just said, I'm not settling for those limitations.
Yes, and I realize also, Tom, that when you stick like to your values and to your integrity, is when you really feel that you are whole, that you can wake up in the morning and do the right thing and go in the bed at night and sleep well because you have your values and you stick to your value and you have like this true beliefs that you are doing the right thing. So I agree with you. And Tom, for our last question and for us to close today, so what are your thoughts, like in advice, anything that you want to share with our audience?
Sure. Well, I would just encourage all of you, if you have stayed with us for this conversation, that tells me that you have a desire to reach more people, whether that's one person, 1,000 people, 10,000 people. You have that natural desire that I think is common to most humans. So I applaud you for that. And I would encourage you to be courageous, just like you, Selma, and just say, I'm
Thank
going to
you so
start
much.
putting my word out there, maybe again through, videos on social media, or maybe a little note to, your local newspaper or to a podcast that you listen to. Maybe you'll be hearing from some of our listeners, Selma, and it's like, wow, I have a message I'd like to share. So I really encourage everyone to get out there, and I encourage learning. All, even at my age, as they say, I love growth and learning and expanding
Yes.
and
Yes.
evolving. And I would just say, if anyone's listening to this around the time that we're recording it, on Wednesday, April 24th, I'm hosting something just like similar to International Women's Day. This time it's about financial literacy,
I
and it's about
love that. I
mindset.
love
Again, like today, we've been talking about mindset, being positive, looking for opportunities, believing we can grow and we can expand. So
it.
it'll be another 2-hour get together of some experts taking questions and sharing what they've learned in life. So, feel free to contact me or Selma, if they contact you, we can get them a link. It's free. It's 2 hours as it was for International Women's Day. And if they want the recording for International Women's Day, let me know also.
Wonderful.
But I just really appreciate, this is a subject I'm passionate about. I love
I
sharing
can
my
feel, I
knowledge.
can
Yeah.
feel.
So, you've given me a wonderful gift to have an opportunity to share with some people I have never met yet. Who knows where things may lead. Maybe I'll get a call saying, "Can you talk for 20 minutes?" And I'm really passionate about this idea. It's like I love that. That makes life so much fun.
That's so true. Thank you so much, Tom. Thank you. And you will find the link below here if you're wondering where you can find all those information. We will leave all the link below here also about Tom and everything that he's offering with his knowledge and life experience. So you will find here. And also, I want to thank you so much, to listen and to stay here with us and just really learn. And remember always, we are here to help you. We are here because of you. Everything we learn in our lives, all struggling, how we did overcome our challenge. So we don't want you to go through the same challenge that we went through. That's why we are here so passionate sharing our experience so you can succeed in your personal and in your professional life. And don't forget, so go on Amazon. You also find the link below for my book, How to Make It Big in US, where I share my story, how I overcome so many challenges, and also how I became the person I am today here, so I can talk with you, at this level. So I'm just really so grateful for these opportunities. And you also find below about my goal setting for success, where is a coaching 101, where I will be working personal with you to help you achieve your goal. I'm also offering tonight a free masterclass on goal settings, and you can also sign up and join us tonight. So thank you so much, my friend. Thank you. Thank you so much, Tom. I appreciate you. I really do.
Thank you.
And thank you
Loved it.
so
Great,
much.
great, great questions. And I think you and I have kind of the same mission to help as many people as we can and move everybody forward. It's a great feeling. So I feel very blessed that you invited me. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're welcome, Tom. My true pleasure. Thank you so much. And I will see you next time. Take care and God bless you. Much love for you. Thank you so much, my friend. Bye-bye.